staying calm under pressure is just such a superpower for a leader to think clearly and make a rational decision that's going to be best for your team. And the three questions that we always have to answer with every decision that we make is it good for the team? Is it good for the business? Is it good for the customer? If it's ever a no in any of those three things, we go back to the drawing board and figure something else out because we know that's not the right answer.
This podcast is sponsored by Action Coaching. If you're a home service business owner, ask yourself this: are you constantly chasing new leads or just keeping the business growing? Ben Jordan built a $100 million plumbing and HVAC company. Inside the Action Group, he teaches contractors how to create recurring revenue, strengthen leadership, improve sales, and build systems that reduce the owner's day-to-day involvement. Members get weekly coaching, practical templates, proven scripts, and strategies designed specifically for home service businesses. If you want to get out of the truck, build something that runs without you and creates real wealth, check out the Action Group on School and book your free consulting call.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Builder's Bible. I'm joined by Bryan Martinez. I was just commenting. I'm excited, Bryan, to ask you about what your background there and some of the hats. Bryan is the vice president at Mister Sparky, and formerly in charge of franchising for, was that correct? The franchise system for Ben Franklin?
Yep, that is correct.
Cool. So I'm excited to pick your brain on that, man. Tell us a little bit of your story.
Yeah, so I joined the military straight out of high school. Spent about 6.5 years there. Throughout that time, I did 2 tours to Afghanistan, got hurt on my second tour, and got out, and I had no idea what I was going to do, had a lot of things going on, needed to go to a lot of appointments. My father-in-law was running a electric contracting company at the time. Put me to work as a helper, just digging trenches and helping out. That's where I really got into the trade, started learning that side of things. He had started the Mister Sparky franchise, but it was kind of his stepchild at that time. Moved over to that as we started to experience some growth as an apprentice electrician. I really started to see some of it start to take off. Moved into the install lead role, became a technician, did that for a bit. And then I was the first actual manager at Mister Sparky in San Antonio. When I became a manager back in 2017, we had just crossed over the $2 million mark. Since then, we finished this year at $15 million in just electrical residential only. So we've been growing at an extremely fast pace, and I've been able to implement a lot of those military structures, SOPs, accountability, and just the camaraderie that I learned in the military to bring over here. And I really do feel like that's been a big part in why we've been able to scale and grow so fast with such an amazing culture. My team is incredible. I love them. I die for them, and they do the same for me. So it's been great. It's been a great ride.
You're probably maybe the third electrician I've had on the show. And I feel like I've been doing a lot of HVAC lately, a lot of pest control, roofing. Electricians, it's interesting to me. And I don't really quite understand, what's the main reason people have you in their homes? Is it a broken something, or is it one of their plugs isn't working? What does the main reason that gets you in the door?
So, and I was having this conversation. I've been mentoring a local HVAC company that's in the area, and we've connected through a convention that we went to recently in San Antonio, which has been great. And I was telling them the difference between us and other trades, especially plumbers and HVAC technicians, is in HVAC, when your heat or your AC isn't working, you're calling somebody right away. Right. You're plumbing, you got something flowing out of the toilet, you got a leak in the house, you're calling somebody right away. With us, if you have a plug not working, chances are the homeowner is just going to use the next plug closest to it until they absolutely need us. So we don't really get a whole bunch we're able to keep customers on the board for a lot longer than the average plumber or HVAC technician can. But the one thing that we have a leg up on all these other trades is we're able to sell a lot based off of safety. Because electricity, 9 times out of 10, you can play with your plumbing and figure it out. You might be able to change your thermostat and try to figure that out. But majority of the time, customers don't want to deal with electrical, especially after they get shocked that one time. Mainly when we're going to the home, it's typically because something's wrong. A breaker's tripping, smoke detectors are chirping, plug's not working. Very rarely are we going in there for panel replacements. And sometimes we do get the cool, fun stuff, in my opinion, of electrical, which is adding the cool lights, the color changing stuff, the smart devices, that you can control on your phone and all those things. So typically it's a problem now. So we are blessed in that.
How big is Mr. Sparky now in terms of size or revenue or however you want to share about it?
Yeah. So we have just over 50 employees, and we have 13 technicians, and we just finished the year out at $15 million and completed revenue this past year. So we have a growth plan of getting to 20. We've expanded to the Corpus Christi market down south on the border and the Gulf. So we're hoping with these two locations of continued growth in San Antonio, we'll be able to push over that $20 million mark by the end of the year.
That's awesome. What's going really well with the business, and what are some challenges you guys are facing?
Yeah. So what's really going well, I think, is our culture. I think we're having some phenomenal people that are coming to us, finding their way to us. A lot of that is other employees that are here that are referring themselves, their friends, people that they're meeting to us. And that's allowing us to grow with the right people. I've always had the mentality that we're the 300 mentality. If you've seen that movie with the Spartans, right? They're going to do more with so much less because their less is better than other people's more. So that's kind of the mentality I've always taken. I want the top tier electricians that I can bring into the industry. So we're going to grow slow with that. And I feel like that's been going really well for us. Like I said, $15 million with 13 techs. That's averaging over $1 million per tech that we have out there running calls. So doing really well with that. The things that we're really struggling with is we've been lucky enough to not really have major competition in San Antonio as far as private equity money goes, where you do experience a lot of that in the HVAC and plumbing world. Recently, we've had one private equity buy up every single other electrical company around us for the most part. So we're having some challenges with the PPC side of things, trying to keep up with the spend that is marketing. We're switching gears. We're attacking the other side of marketing on the social side and a lot of other parts of that. And I think that's been a struggle that we were hit with that we haven't had to deal with before, that we're really having to figure out this time.
So you're saying having the PE come into the market has caused it to be a little bit more difficult to get yield on your paid ads?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. And is that just because they just put cash in the coffers of the competitor and they can just pay more on paid ads or even be more inefficient with how they spend it?
Yeah. So a lot of the times, the companies that they're acquiring have electrical divisions within an HVAC and plumbing company. So they're a tri-branded company, if you will. So when they dump money into that singular name of a company, it expands throughout all departments of that. So whether it's people searching up words for HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, when they dump in that money, it's driving up the cost and affecting the electrical calls that we used to get fairly easily. We're now trying to deal with how hard that is to become with that.
This episode is brought to you by Corberry Digital. If you own an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, or home service business and you're tired of wondering where your next lead is coming from, you need to check out Corberry Digital. Corberry specializes exclusively in helping home service companies dominate their local markets through SEO, Google Ads, local service ads, websites, content marketing, and lead generation systems that actually produce a measurable ROI. Their team doesn't just focus on clicks and impressions. They help contractors lower customer acquisition costs, increase qualified leads, and build a marketing engine that scales. What I like about Corberry is they understand the blue collar space. They aren't trying to be everything to everyone. Their entire focus is helping trades businesses win in their backyard and generate more profitable jobs. If you're looking to grow your business, improve your online visibility, and build a marketing system that works, visit Corberry.com and schedule a strategy session with their team. That's Corberry.com. Tell them you heard about them on the podcast. What's up, everybody? This podcast is sponsored by Grimes Financial Advisors. You've spent time and energy building a successful business, but here's the question. Do you have a real retirement plan or just a pile of investments? Our friends at Grimes Financial Advisors specialize in helping business owners and families create a clear roadmap for retirement through their proprietary retirement blueprint. Instead of focusing only on investments, they look at the entire picture: income planning, taxes, long-term care, legacy planning, and making sure your money is actually working for the life you want to live. I've gotten to know Dustin personally. One of the things that I respect most about him is he believes every financial decision should fit into a bigger plan. You shouldn't just chase returns. So whether you're 5 years from retirement or simply want a second opinion on your financial strategy, I highly recommend reaching out to Dustin and his team. Visit Grimes Financial Advisors to schedule your consultation and start building your own retirement blueprint.
Let's talk about AI for a second. How are you guys integrating it into your business?
That's something that we've really, we pride ourselves on kind of being the first ones to dive into things with caution, but we're not scared to take those risks. So we have AI, a system called Broccoli. I don't know if you've heard of it, but they are answering our entire phones entirely. We have 2 human CSRs that kind of overlook Broccoli, but it's a 24/7, 365, completely AI call center. And that's allowed us to kind of really dive in deeper into the customer satisfaction of things. So we're using AI completely in that. We're using AI tremendously in a lot of our marketing and the other things that we're doing on that side of the business. We have a company called Boca that is completely AI for our payroll system. So as far as the mundane task of sitting down, when most of us are paying performance-based pay, right? So we have percentages and we have certain markers that they got to hit and certain things that KPIs that they have to meet in order to earn percentages for the jobs that they're selling out there in the field. Well, Volca will take that entire structure with the power of AI and be able to spit that percentage out for the employee much quicker and much more accurate. We've had a lot less mistakes since we've taken the human factor out of doing those calculations. And those are probably the 3 main areas that we're using AI in right now.
What's one thing we haven't talked about today, Bryan, that gets you fired up? Well, tell us about the wall behind you.
Yeah. So I have I'm a big sports guy. Love sports. I see the Curry jersey behind you. Curry's a phenomenal player. Obviously, you can see behind me, and being in San Antonio, Texas, that I'm a big Spurs fan. So I was at that game last night
Man, I would rather have the Spurs win than the Thunder. I'll tell you that. I really don't want the Thunder to win like 6 in a row, and I think they probably could.
No, and I think that we have their number. I think we've proven that during the season. The one team that I'm scared of is the team that I'm watching the closely right now is the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets can make a run at any time. But
really? Because we're here in Denver and we're all pissed, you know?
Yeah. Well, they went down 3-1. They won yesterday's game. But with Ant being out, I think Ant is the only person that was able to give Denver some trouble. And with him being out of the series, I think the Jokic's going to be able to take it over, even up that series, and then take the Game 7 win. I hope not. I hope I'd rather play the Timberwolves if I'm being honest, but it looks like we'll more likely play the Nuggets. But big sports guy. I have a signed helmet from Arch Manning, which is pretty cool. It's a Saints helmet. I got Joe Theismann. I signed football above there, and we have season tickets to the Spurs. I got some Spurs stuff up there as well. Got a couple awards that we collected throughout our franchise system. Took International Franchise of the Year award, the IFA award. We've taken top 5 in the system. We're number 3 in the Mister Sparky brands entirely. We're the number 1 Sparky as far as revenue and size go for privately held company, not backed by PE. So we take a lot of pride in what we're able to do within the system with the size and scale that we have. And obviously tons of books. I think it's really hard to be successful if you're not investing into learning and growth. And so obviously there's lots of books back there that I love to read.
Love that. What out of curiosity, where'd the name come from? It's actually a great name. I love the brand.
It's very catchy. So the guy that started the brand, he was from Ireland. And in Ireland, they call their electricians Sparkies. So whenever he moved the franchise over here and started the franchise system on Mister Sparky, that's kind of where the name came from. It's a Sparky, which is an electrician in Ireland. That's how
I love that.
It's catchy.
It's interesting. I had Dan Antonelli on the show recently, and he's like the brand godfather for the blue collar guys. And I guess I had never thought about it, but it is interesting to me when I go around town and I see the really humdrum, Joe's Electric.
Yeah.
Versus something like Mr. Sparky that really catches my eye. And I'm like, I'd probably rather call Mr. Sparky, you know?
Yeah, you remember it more. And I was having that meeting with our marketing team this week, and I was telling them marketing in general is just such a complicated system, right? With all the different things and all the different ways to do stuff. but it's very simplistic in mindset. We want our customers, when they think electrical, to think Mr. Sparky. So we want them to think of a catchy name, something that's going to be easy to remember and kind of sticks out in their brain. I've learned the power of marketing. So even at last night's game, and we went to game one. I don't know if you saw the photos of that. It's been all over ESPN. But game one for the Spurs, they had their fans in each section were matching color shirts. And so it looked like a sea of pink or a sea of turquoise or a sea of green in another section. And it was the coolest thing. So I'm sitting there in a sea of turquoise shirts, and I have a red, this actually hat right here, red Mister Sparky hat. And it's just being broadcasted throughout the entire stadium on the news. I got probably 30 text messages saying that they saw me because you see that bright red hat stick out amongst the sea of turquoise. It was a really cool feeling, and it's definitely a brand I love to represent. Definitely a brand I love to be a part of.
I love that, man.
This episode is brought to you by 10X Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10X Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker. They only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team.
What's one thing we haven't talked about today that gets you fired up?
I think just leadership and culture more than anything else. It's what I've been able to build the success on this company with. And I think those two things matter so much in a business, and sometimes they get neglected. In my opinion, you can't have good culture without great accountability. I think you have to have solid accountability for that culture. And that starts with just people understanding what they're getting into. We have a very team first, self last mentality here, again, like the military, right? So our guys know that they're going to step up for each other, and it's not a what's in it for me type of deal. But if my team wins, I win, more of a mentality that way. So I think that stuff is just awesome. And being that calm leader under pressure. There's a lot of entrepreneurs out there. There's a lot of leaders out there that kind of lose their cool when things aren't going right. And I think staying calm under pressure is just such a superpower for a leader to think clearly and make a rational decision that's going to be best for your team. And the three questions that we always have to answer with every decision that we make is it good for the team? Is it good for the business? Is it good for the customer? If it's ever a no in any of those three things, we go back to the drawing board and figure something else out because we know that's not the right answer.
Yeah.
That's what I love. We do all kinds of stuff. We're actually, I have the team all over my butt right now because they want me to send out the Slack message about our yearly softball team that we do at my church for our men's fellowship group. And we get customized Sparky jerseys, and every year it's a different uniform. So everybody's excited about joining the team, starting practice, and then getting their new uniforms this year. But it's a great time, and it's a heck of a lot more competitive than I thought a church softball league would be. But they come in ready to go, and it's a lot of fun. It makes it competitive.
I like the name Pitch Slapped if you want to steal a name.
There we go.
Sure, you could have ChatGPT feed you a couple good ones, though. Cool, man. Well, if people want to learn more about Mr. Sparky, where can they go, or you in general?
Yeah. So I'm all over Facebook, like you've seen me, Instagram. We are starting the YouTube channel here pretty soon. That'll be Mr. Sparky SA. Our Facebook channel is Mr. Sparky SA as well. But everybody's able to reach me there. I'm always willing to meet a new friend. that's how I met you, and it turned into something awesome. So I appreciate the time here, and I appreciate the opportunity. Love being on.
Yeah, man, I am a fan of the home services space. I'm a fan of the blue collar guys. And so it's clear to me as I looked at your stuff that you're trying to do something in the space. And anybody who's trying to do something, I am your biggest fan. And so, and then the podcast is just, it's been so much fun, man. Like the connections that has created, it's insane. So
yeah, there's something I've been learning from a gentleman called Trapper Searless. And one of the things that
he's coming on in the next couple of weeks. Good dude. Yeah,
he's actually, we had him here all week speaking to our team, kind of getting to know our organization. We met him at that same conference that was in San Antonio. Phenomenal guy. And he'll talk more about it whenever he gets out there. But one of the things that we've been speaking about a tremendous amount of time on is ROR. Everybody knows all the other KPIs of everything else. Not too many people know what ROR is, and that's return on relationships, right? And I love that acronym for it because I think that's what makes us in the home service industry so freaking special, is being able to create those relationships and the doors that those open, and everybody's always willing to help everybody. There's so much space for success for everybody to eat. And I love being a part of these brands and this environment, this area, because everybody's just so kind and willing to help. So it's been great. I've had a lot of fun.
That is cool about the home services space. You aren't selfish with knowledge.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, dude, I would kill for a mastermind for virtual assistant staffing companies, and there's nothing like it. You guys in the home services space, there's all sorts of masterminds and brainstorming things. And I don't know if it's just that people in our industry don't like to share ideas. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about starting one myself, but I mean, there's always a way to get better.
Yep.
The thought that someone's going to come steal my clients or step on my toes, like it's crazy how much opportunity there is out there.
Exactly right. And that's what we've always said with our employees here. I've never been scared for anybody to reach out to them or talk to them, because in my opinion, if you can take my employee, it was never my employee to begin with, right? There's something that I could have done better to keep that person on my team, and I'll learn from it either way. So it's been great. But I think the biggest reason why we're always willing to help each other so much is because a lot of us have come from just freaking nothing. We started to just rent a truck by ourselves, grinding it out, building a tremendous legacy. And it's created a lot of that humility of wanting to see other people win as well as yourself, right? So I've met Tommy Mello, I've met Ismael Valdez, I've met a lot of the Brian Burton, I've met a lot of the top names in the industry, and they're always willing to just help me in any way, shape, or form, answer my questions. Catherine Howard's been phenomenal. I don't know if you ever heard of Kathleen Howard or
I haven't.
speak. She is a bombshell. She will make you run through a wall. I cannot listen to her without getting fired up. I am ready to take on the world after listening to her. If you ever get a chance to connect with her, get her on the show. She is absolutely incredible.
That's a good one, man. I it's 95% male on the show, so I need to get some more females on the show for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Well, if did we already drop your links and stuff if people want to learn more?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Awesome, Bryan. Well, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep talking, but thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.